I'm assume this. I'm assuming you'd be able to do this on disc one as well. We'll just mess around in here for a little bit. Get a little feeling for it because I think this is the Bloody Palace's first appearance, right? The first time it's been in the series. Kind of forgot that it started here. Because I'm pretty sure this does continue, right? Like that they do carry this forward into other games. I will definitely say this music, the soundtrack in general, not as strong as the first game. It feels more samey, basic. I got three options here. What does that mean? Not as exciting, I guess, if you will. It really is hard to say where this game improves upon compared to the first, and besides just visuals, really. Like, I think visuals is the only area I can say where I think this game is a step up, and like that's, you know, generally that should be expected as we move forward in time. Obviously, like at this point in time, we're in an era now where like the graphical updates per year are so much smaller than what they were. Because I would still say in the 6th generation, like you're seeing enough of a graphical improvement from year to year to be noticeable. And especially if you look at 2 or 3 years, definitely you could notice a pretty big change, I would say. Level 102. Holy okay. I don't know what that's about. Let's just go ahead and use this. I'm just trying to go in like different ones. So is one like is this like a level 1, like go up by 1 level, go up by 100? Is this like 50, 10, 25? This is 10. Okay. I'm not quite sure how like the whole level. Okay. Okay. Just kill some bats. I don't know if you go like high enough in here, if there's anything like secret enemies, secret boss, maybe some really cool modifiers, I don't know. I will say trying hard mode is something I will be interested to see how much of a difference it makes. Especially if like you're keeping all your stuff's already upgraded and whatnot. Pause. Okay, just brings that up. I saw access to that stuff. Did I get? Okay, I missed one on that end. Good to know. Should we go up by 100? Yeah. guess this would be a way to just grind the heck out of red orbs, assuming you keep them in everything. I would think so, because otherwise it wouldn't really make sense for the game to be dropping them. Oh, it's one of those guys, that's why. I was kind of confused while I wasn't dealing any damage. Yeah, it's just interesting because I've heard this game get dumped on quite a bit, right? So just having played it for myself now and being able to have my own opinion on it, be like a, it's opinion that's experienced and not just based on what others have said. I would much rather than, if they ever were to, like, want to redo the second game, I would prefer them to try and just flesh out the stuff that is here, and instead of just completely ignoring it or completely, like, just doing a complete rewrite, in the sense that, like, Lucia is not part of the game, the Martiar, the bad guy, like, I'd much rather them try and flesh it out and add more context to everything going on, more background, flesh out the characters better, and probably have Dante act more normal. I don't know, like, if he was going... The way he acts in this game, he's so, like, freaking reserved, and his talking is definitely down to, like, a minimal. The whole Dante joke that gets used for the reboot game. Yeah, the Dante in this game is very odd. Oh crap. Okay. Can you lock onto him for me again? Thank you. He's regenerating, but come on. Alright, I think we'll do one more and then I'm gonna quit out of this. Oh crap, we got wolves. 3 of them too. This room's gonna be a little hectic, that's for sure. I don't know if the wolf's howling is actually doing anything, it's just done for fun. Because you'd think wolf didn't howl. Okay. Ouch. I don't need 4 of you guys bouncing around the walls at one time. I'm bored. Okay, I'm curious. Do I have items? Oh, you do keep your items. That's very interesting. You can just load up on Vitality Stars or something and then just go as far as you possibly can. So do each of these wolves have different names? It looks like it. That's cool. So 5 of them now? Oh, God. Okay, one's dead. I have 2 health bars, so that would explain. Because, yeah, definitely in the campaign knew they were pretty tanky. Oh, that's unfortunate timing. This last room is going to take a little bit to clear up, for sure. There does seem to be like a set amount of different names, because I see Gary and Freak. Correct? You know what? Bomb. Apparently throwing it directly at them is not the most reliable thing. Alright. After that room, I can only assume that, yeah, some of the later ones get pretty tough. But yeah, that is Devil May Cry 2. Again, I did not hate my time with this game. I did not despise it. It is pretty brain dead at points. Very not a whole lot of challenge. I mean, I will give credit. Some of the boss fights do push you a little bit, but like I was never like major, like super worried that I was going to be stuck on a boss for hours and hours, or even need to do like fit like 10, 15 tries of it. I think I had one death. No, I had 2 deaths in total. One in like spherical room that's like a ball and it's rotating because I was kind of confused on what to do. And then the other was on the first phase of the final boss fight on Dante's story, and the yellow orb rezzed me there, which it's nice to know that those behave differently in this game. It's not like the first game where it resets you outside the door, meaning like you gotta. I mean, it does mean you need to actually do the boss fight from scratch, from 100 HP again. Kind of the get good a little bit there. It's like, hey, we'll save you some time, but you still gotta be able to fight the boss from 100 HP down to 0. Or this game, it's like if you get them down to 50 HP, I mean, then you just get a full, another set of health, a new health bar. Um, yeah, I think I've said everything I need to about this game. Uh, a step back in almost every way from the first game. I still think, like, I definitely still think there was effort put into this. There's still like a lot of upgrades to find. in terms of your devil trigger form, and they're still upgrading your weapons and finding new weapons. So like some of the stuff that you would hope would be there is still there, and I still had a decent amount of fun, honestly. Like I said, I think this game would be playthrough you do after, I think is probably harder to find more enjoyment. Maybe the hard mode will make enough of a difference. I'm not sure, but on repeat playthroughs, I do think this game would only become more and more boring because you'd only realize like the more and more just kind of easy nature of the game, that it's really easy to cheese certain bosses and stuff. Like literally on the final boss there, on the first phase of it, I literally just stood just outside of the attack range of the tentacle, and it literally couldn't do anything to me. Same with the guy with the hammer, like just oversight, just an oversight on the devs. Um, I do want to give credit. I do kind of think that first phase of that boss fight's pretty cool. Just the idea of like, hey, here's all these bosses you killed from both the first game and some from the second game, just all been formed into this one freaking monstrosity for you to fight. I kind of dig that. I kind of like. I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah. Again, I I would greatly prefer that if they ever consider revisiting this game, that they just try to like. I will say too, for Lucia's story, give her more unique areas, right? Like give her more unique places. I think like I feel like that's just like an issue in general whenever you have a game that has multiple story ways, multiple story like characters to play through to get the full experience. Needing to go through a lot of the same stages and stuff just isn't, and I'll say especially in a game like this, just isn't generally the most enjoyable thing. I don't mind one or two stages of it, especially if it makes sense and if you still keep like maybe like a different pathway or something just to make it a little different. But when like a majority of missions are just reusing the same areas that another character goes through, and especially when it gets kind of confusing if you're thinking like how does the timeline make sense here, right? How do both characters go through these areas without running into each other or whatever? Like that's another thing I would consider too, but I just I would prefer them like I guess there's enough here that I'm intrigued and I just want to know more, right? I want to know more about this clan that fought with Sparta. I want to know more about who the frick this bad guy is. Kind of just comes out of nowhere, literally, and has very little screen time too. Um, is he communicating with someone? Is he working with like a a devil or something? Because it kind of made I don't know. It feels like they make it sound like there's someone even above him, right? Which I guess is the maybe the guy Dante fights, the thing Dante fights. I would again more clarity would be great. Um, and it's just annoying because like people are gonna want to play Dante, and Dante's story is like the one where I would say you're more confused about anything than what the heck is going on. Like you know you need to kill this guy, but I can't. You get to the point where it's like, why am I here? Why am I in this location? Like, what is going on? Like that's kind of how I felt just playing through his campaign. Lucia's I feel is a little better on the story aspect because you get more cutscenes more often, and you just get a little more filled out. But even then, it's like you don't get much on her backstory. You know, like you find out, okay, she's created by this monster, and she needs to overcome that character arc. It's overcome rather fast and without very little and with very little dialogue or anything really. I would like I would like to see this stuff, just worked out. I don't think the game is irredeemable, as I said. I really don't. And maybe you can make it fit into the storyline better, the overall storyline. I know the DMC games are not in chronological order in terms of like their release, because I know isn't this usually thrown somewhere before DMC5, but after 4, I want to say. Um, because the third game is actually the first. I think it's like DMC3 1, or no, DMC3, then 1, then 4, then 2, then 5. Maybe this game is before 4. But yeah, that's just, the confusing nature of the DMC games. I guess it also just kind of stands out because both Trish and Lady from the third game are brought back for the fifth game. We never see or hear anything, as far as I remember, from Lucia again. She's just kind of gone, which I think is kind of. I don't think she's written super well, and like her accent kind of makes me chuckle. Um, but again, it's like I would like to just. I don't blame like the voice actress, and I don't hate the character. Like it's weird. Like I don't blame the character. I kind of blame the writers and just the overall sh- um development of the game, structure of the game, because this game is weak in a lot of aspects. It's not like the game is great gameplay wise, story wise, music wise, um, and then it just has like Lucia is just like an underwhelming character in the story and the overall story, right? It's kind of bad all around, which is why I would just rather like prefer. It's bad all around, but it's not so completely awful in my eyes that they couldn't put it together and make it work, you know? It clearly needed more time in the oven or more talented writers. Clearly, I think like development was a bit of a gong show for this game, from what I remember. It's been a while since I watched the kind of um I know Johnny's reviewed this game. I can't remember exactly what he said about it, about the development history aspect of it. But like clearly things were not going well behind the scenes and a lot of things suffered. So yeah, I just want to make it known I do not hate this game. It's still probably gonna be the bottom of the barrel after I'm done playing through all 6 games, but I don't hate it. It's a bad game, but it's not worst game of all time by any means. I would play this 100 times over compared to Enter the Dragonfly, the Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, because that game, like the biggest difference I would say is just that game, the performance, the technical performance of the game is ass. With all the screen tearing and frame rate drops that game suffers from, I would much rather play this because at least it's not hurting my head, not nearly as often at least. Um, and I can enjoy it. And I want to say, Enter Dragonfly has some good things in there, some promising stuff I can see in there, just not fleshed out well. It's been a while since I played that, but I think I would play this over just Enter the Dragonfly any freaking day. If I had to choose between the two, I would much rather this than that game. So I will, I guess, in terms of my own list, in terms of my own experiences with video games, yeah, it's probably near the bottom. Because I've generally been pretty picky about games I play, so I can't say I've played a ton of terrible games. Eh, So this would be near the bottom, not the worst, but near the bottom for my own personal list. But I wouldn't, if we are talking worst games of all time, I don't think I would throw it in there. I think it's just good enough to avoid being in that kind of list. And I want to say it too that if anything, I'm happy I played this. I'm happy I didn't decide to skip out on it because I had a decent amount of fun. I vibe with the atmosphere of this game. Dante's outfit is in this game is honestly probably my favorite. I did go look at all his outfits. I know there are modders out there who made this outfit in DMC5, which is pretty cool. I I wouldn't mind if I ever could like have it made for a 3D model of mine. There are probably some like there. I'm not gonna say like there would be some tweaks I would make to the outfit, but I think overall it's my favorite. It's funny enough. I kind of feel like it's the most almost formal outfit. Um, it's the most clean looking, I guess, because like in DMC4 he literally has no shirt on, just has the Jaguar like no shirt on, which is not formal at all. It's not very I can't think of the word that I want to use, but like again, just formal, clean looking. Like if you wanted to look good and whatnot, like if Dante just wanted to look good because he was going to some kind of professional meetup or something like somewhere to pay respect for like someone who's passed away, funeral. This outfit would be like the most appropriate, I feel, in that sense. The first game, his outfit in the first game, I don't know how exactly to explain it. I like the outfit. I don't think he's had any bad outfit in any of the games, honestly. I think some people make fun of the one in four because he's like the cowboy boot thing going on or something. But I do like his outfit in all of the games. And literally in the fifth game, he just looks so casual. Like it's a very casual looking Dante in the fifth game. Just literally like the shirt that's kind of like tucked in, half tucked in, I think. Jacket. Um, if anything, I guess that's one way you could say it's like very casual looks, or I'm not an expert on design and costumes and whatnot, but this I would say that his look in this game is the most clean, formal, professional looking outfit he has. I vibe with it a lot. I like it a lot. And I haven't really seen like jackets that have like the black part or like part of it is just black, like the front half of it or whatever, the front end, but then like the rest of it's just red or a different color, right? Like I haven't seen that. That's very different. And I've hit 5 hours on this recording from all the blabbering I'm doing. So, yeah, I should get this wrapped up. I will I don't know exactly when I'll get started on DMC3. I think February 11th is the 20th anniversary of the game, so I'll kind of try and make that my goal to record it on that day. Again, it won't, in the long run, it's not really going to matter because those videos won't go up for a while because this playthrough is going to have to go up first. And I'm not sure if on the math end, if the first game, no, I think the first game should be fully uploaded before the 11th, pretty sure. So, if anything, I will be taking some time to edit all of this whole playthrough first, and then get to recording that. Plus, I'll reorganize my room, redo my room, and be ready for that. So, yeah, thank you to Ghost Cabbits, they made this model. Thank you to SnowHusky, did the VRM work, and thank you to Antifreeze, who's doing thumbnails. Thank you guys to listening to me blabber at the end of this because I guess I just had some strong thoughts, opinions on this game, having experienced it for myself, and just one of those things where it's like I'm glad I played it because I think I can say that there's some fun to be had here. There's some fun to be had. Not for everyone, for sure. Like I said, I particularly vibe with the atmosphere of this game. And some of the dialogue makes me chuckle. And maybe I'm just that kind of guy that just enjoys, has a bit of fun and just holding down the shoot button, like with how effective they are, but still mixing in some melee weapons. It's like way more like the first game. It's way more like I want to attack with the melee weapons more and then get some shots in. Not all the time, but sometimes. This game is like I'm just gonna hold down the shoot button, and every once in a while I'll go on for melee attacks, but I'm mostly gonna shoot. And for my brain, I guess I enjoyed it enough. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, ciao for now. Bye.